The following investigation presents an analysis of publicly available documents and expert testimony. All claims are sourced and cited. Viewers are encouraged to research independently and form their own conclusions.
Where is the gold gone? Which country obtained the most from this regime change? Who was afraid of the colonel? These are some of the uncomfortable questions we are going to try to answer in this video. The Gaddafi case. The hidden truth behind the fall of the rice. October 20th, 2011. Sirte, Libya. A city reduced to rubble after months of bombardment. It's the dawn of Muammar Gaddafi's last day. For 42 years, he had ruled Libya with an iron fist. He had challenged the West, nationalized oil, made deals and then betrayals. But that morning, holed up in his last remaining stronghold, the colonel knows the end is near. At 8:30 in the morning, a convoy attempts to escape. About 75 vehicles, including Gaddafi's armored car, move toward the desert. It's a desperate attempt, but someone, somewhere, is watching. An American Predator drone, piloted from a military base in Las Vegas, yes, you heard that right, Las Vegas, spots the convoy. According to what later emerged from the Telegraph, British SAS Special Forces and US operatives had been scouring the area for days. NATO kept Sirte under constant surveillance, audio and video, from the air and with forces on the ground. The drone opens fire. Then French Mirage fighters arrive. The convoy is decimated. Gaddafi, wounded in the legs, seeks refuge in a sewage tunnel. He's captured alive by militiamen of the National Transitional Council. What happens next is documented by dozens of videos recorded with cell phones. Beaten, tortured, sodomized with a bayonet. At 12:30 p.m., a gunshot to the head. The dictator is dead. Hillary Clinton, then U.S. Secretary of State, is filmed laughing and uttering a phrase that will go down in history.
We came, we saw, he died.
But the real question is, why? To understand what really happened in Libya in 2011, we need to go back 3 years, to 2008, to the year of friendship. August 30th, 2008, Benghazi. Silvio Berlusconi and Muammar Gaddafi signed the Treaty of Friendship, Partnership, and Cooperation. Italy commits to paying $5 billion as compensation for the colonial period. In exchange, Libya guarantees investments in Italy, opens visas for Italians, and, above all, promises to control migratory flows to the Sicilian coast. But there's more. Eni, the Italian oil company, obtains golden contracts. Oil extraction concessions extended until 2042 and for gas until 2047, with investments of $28 billion. In 2010, Eni produces 267,000 barrels per day from Libya. It's the leading foreign operator in the country. Germany's Wintershall is second with 79,000 barrels. France's total? Only 55,000 barrels per day. And here the problem begins. According to documents released by WikiLeaks, emails from Hillary Clinton's private server, a very different picture emerges from the humanitarian mission we were told about. In an email dated April 2nd, 2011, Sidney Blumenthal, Clinton's advisor and former assistant to Bill Clinton, writes explicitly that French President Nicolas Sarkozy had 5 objectives in attacking Libya. 1. Obtain Libyan oil. 2. Secure French influence in the region. 3. Increase his domestic reputation ahead of elections. 4. Assert French military power. 5. Prevent Gaddafi's influence in Francophone Africa. But there's a 6th reason, perhaps the most disturbing. Also in WikiLeaks emails, it emerges that Gaddafi had accumulated 143 tons of gold and a similar amount of silver, worth about $7 billion. These ingots were not destined to remain in the vaults of the Libyan central bank. The Rise's plan was to create a new Pan-African currency, the gold dinar, which would have replaced the CFA franc, the currency that still today ties 14 former African colonies to France, allowing Paris to control their economies. When French intelligence services, the DGSE, discovered this plan, according to Blumenthal, Sarkozy decided to immediately commit France to the attack on Libya. Now let's pause for a moment. This is a theory that has been circulating for years and is supported by real WikiLeaks documents, never officially denied. But it's important to specify, there is no direct public evidence that France attacked only for the gold. What we know for certain is that WikiLeaks emails are authentic. Sarkozy was indeed the main promoter of NATO intervention. France actively sought to obtain 35% of Libyan oil contracts after Gaddafi's fall. ENI temporarily lost ground while Total tried to expand. March 19, 2011. Operation Unified Protector begins. NATO's codename for intervention in Libya. The official justification is UN Security Council Resolution 1973, protecting Libyan civilians from Gaddafi's regime repression during the Arab Spring. A no-fly zone, nothing else. In the following months, NATO will conduct over 26,000 air missions, of which 9,700 ground attacks. French, British, and Italian aircraft will systematically bomb loyalist forces, military infrastructure, weapons depots. But not only that. All this happened under NATO's protective umbrella. Without that military intervention, rebel groups would likely have been annihilated by loyalist troops within a few months of the uprising's beginning. But let's go back to the initial question. Why? In September 2011, a month before Gaddafi's death, Sarkozy and Cameron traveled to Tripoli to meet with leaders of the National Transitional Council. According to Blumenthal's email to Clinton on September 16, 2011, the two leaders, in private conversations, intend to pressure NTC leaders to reward their early support for the rebellion against Gaddafi. Sarkozy and Cameron expect this recognition to be tangible, in the form of favorable contracts for French and British energy companies. The French newspaper Libération even spoke of an agreement to guarantee France 35% of new oil contracts. News later denied, but doubt remained. But there's another level to this story, a darker one and perhaps closer to home. Before 2011, Libya was the main transit country for tens of thousands of Africans dreaming of Europe. In 2008, 37,000 migrants arrived on Italian shores from Libya. To stop this flow, the Berlusconi government had invested in the treaty with Gaddafi. And it worked. In 2009, landings dropped by 90%. Gaddafi had a weapon, and he used it. On several occasions between 2008 and 2010, the colonel publicly threatened Europe. If he didn't get more money and recognition, he would open the doors. His exact words were to unleash an avalanche of immigrants toward European shores. According to European Parliament documents from the time, these threats were taken very seriously. Gaddafi was asking the EU for 5 billion euros to secure Libya's southern borders, with Niger and Chad. Brussels offered 20 million euros. The standoff continued. Now here we enter the territory of theories. Some sources claim that certain European governments wanted the post-2011 migration chaos as a tool for geopolitical pressure. There is no solid evidence of this. What is documented from UN, IOM, and numerous NGO reports is that after Gaddafi's fall, Libya fragmented into dozens of militias. Border control collapsed. Trafficker networks expanded dramatically. Hundreds of thousands of people crossed the Mediterranean. Thousands died at sea. In 2015-2016, ISIS came to control the city of Sirte, the same place where Gaddafi died, extracting oil and managing human trafficking. ENI was forced to close the Abu Adafel field in 2013. Total, Repsol, Marathon Oil suspended operations. Today, only Eni still produces significantly in Libya. So who really won in this war? Let's stop. Let's recap what we know for certain, separating facts from theories. 1. Gaddafi was captured and killed on October 20, 2011, after an American drone and French fighters bombed his convoy. 2. NATO intervened massively with bombings far beyond the no-fly zone mandate. 3. Western special forces were present on Libyan territory. 4. Human Rights Watch documented summary executions of at least 66 people from Gaddafi's convoy. 5. WikiLeaks emails show that France and UK sought oil contracts immediately after the regime's fall. 6. Eni had very advantageous contracts before 2011. 7. Gaddafi publicly threatened to open migration routes. 8. After 2011, Libya plunged into chaos and migratory flows exploded. Theories not completely proven. 1. That Western intelligence services specifically planned Gaddafi's assassination as an extrajudicial execution. There is strong evidence but no definitive public proof. 2. That France attacked primarily for the gold and to prevent the creation of the Pan-African gold dinar, supported by WikiLeaks emails but without official confirmation. 3. That European governments deliberately promoted migratory flows as a geopolitical weapon. No systematic documentary evidence exists, more likely a mix of state collapse and criminal opportunism. But here are the uncomfortable questions that remain open. Question 1. Why did NATO go so far beyond the UN mandate? Resolution 1973 spoke of protecting civilians, not regime change. Question 2. Who gave the final order to strike Gaddafi's convoy? The drone was American, the fighters French. Who coordinated? Question 3. Why was no serious international investigation conducted into the circumstances of his death, despite video evidence of summary execution? Question 4. What happened to the 143 tons of gold? After 2011, no one has mentioned it. Where did it end up? Question 5. Did Italy know? The Berlusconi government was one of the last to recognize the rebels. Were we betrayed by our allies? Today, Libya is a divided country, with 2 governments, dozens of militias, detention camps for migrants where systematic torture is practiced according to the UN. The humanitarian mission of 2011 caused over 10,000 deaths, destabilized an entire region, favored ISIS expansion, and created an unprecedented migration crisis. And while we wonder who will cross the Mediterranean tomorrow, who will die at sea, who will knock on our doors, oil companies continue to negotiate contracts, governments continue to make deals. And the truth about what really happened on that October 20th, 2011, who decided what, who betrayed whom, that truth is buried somewhere among the rubble of Sirte. Muammar Gaddafi was a dictator. This is undeniable. But was his fall really for democracy? Or was it for oil, for gold, for control of the Mediterranean? Perhaps we'll never know for certain. But one thing is sure. Those who won were not the Libyans. We came, we saw, he died. But at what price? If you liked the video, you know where to give a like. And if some other questions cake to your mind, you can write them in the comment section. And if you are curious for more uncomfortable questions, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you later.